The next speaker is a person I would say, and I believe that he feels like at home on the stage of T, because he is from Deutsche Telekom, and he's an ambassador for software engineering and people lead in software engineering chapter. He is also actively participating in developers community events and hackathons. He thrives on innovation and collaboration, and you're gonna have a chance, apart from this presentation, to meet him also in the afternoon at the already mentioned second workshop at 1:30. Please welcome Michal Kováčik.
Oh, hello. Okay. So first of all, I would like to start with some story. So my question is, guess who earned most money on selling the fridge? I borrowed this idea from famous Slovak YouTuber Marek Španěl. So if somebody follow him, then no answer. But anybody knows or guess? No, it's not Samsung or not fruit sellers. Excuse me? Food companies. It's you have it. It's actually Coca-Cola. So there's a really nice story where to start, because Coca-Cola found a way how to earn money on technology which was delivered by other companies. Yeah? So they just found that if you cool your Coca-Cola, it's more tasty and people more enjoy it. They also use it in marketing, etc. But this is same thing which we are heading in front of using language models. Language models is just tools, and we, as the companies, will be responsible for developing new things like Coca-Cola did. So, by the way, I would like to say happy programming day for every programmer in the room. I hope that it's few of them is here. And this is the reason why I choose also this way of the presentation. So today we are celebrating Days of Programmers, so enjoy every programmer, maybe go to the beer after the session and meet your friends, enjoy. But developers are also one key factor to the success. So they're actually the bridge between technologies and the products. So this is people who made, who can take the technologies and make products from them. Not just developers, but all these things like Scrum Masters, product owners, and QAs, and etc. So, but if we have day of programmers, then I will use developers right now as a word for this. So my aim is to show you how to start. Maybe you can start even today or tomorrow. You can inspire from this and just try a few things. Also, the aim is to show how this product development could have direction, or which direction could have. So you can start first of all with Hugging Faces or well-known Open API API, or some cloud providers where you can also scale like Google, Azure, or Amazon. So we will continue. So how it actually works with Hugging Face. Hugging Face is something like GitHub for NLP. So it means that you can find large language models there. You can find data sets for your language model, so etc. Many things, very interesting place. And what they provide open source models or open source data models which you can use. And what is important and what is not important, interesting in this is that we can find in this space also models which is really domain-specific and task-specific. And this is something which is really key for in the future. Maybe you know the ChatGPT and all these things, so maybe not in most of use cases, you don't need general purpose language model because you don't need to have Wikipedia information if you are trying to translate the code. Yeah? You want to have something which is specialized to your concrete use case. So these domain-specific models. For example, you can find Galactica or PubMed GPT. Galactica is models which is focusing to, which was trained with scientists' works. Yeah? PubMed is trained on the medicine data. Then you can also find some task-specific models like Codex or CodeLlama or Lambda or newer version Palm 2, which is actually behind the BART implementation in the Google. So this task-specific models is specific for concrete tasks. So it means that, for example, if you would like to do some programming task, then it's better to use task-specific model because it's trained on the data which you will need. Yeah? Maybe a few funny stories. Let's say this Galactica is very interesting. There was really big hype after they released Galactica model, and after that we were able to find many scientific work on the internet, which from the formal sites looks very great, but from the meaning or from it have no added scientific value. So I have a friend, Tomáš, I don't know if he is here, and he published that he made a study with Stephen Hawking. Yeah, you know, so and half of people believe that it's actually true. Yeah, you know, so it could happen. It also shows us the risk, but I just want to share this, let's say, funny story. Then you already recognize this table. It was already shown by Martin, actually, Clough in previous presentation, and this is something which is showing us that these open source models can have really similar performance like commercial products or commercial models. Just for example, you can see here CodeLlama is performing. It's not really visible, but CodeLlama it's one of the best in class in MBPP tests, which is tests based on if you write or describe in the human way what you would like to achieve, and then the model will code it. Yeah, so this is one of the best of the class right now based on the statistics, and it's really comparable to the models which are commercial like GPT-4 or less. And one more interesting things which I will use later on. For example, these models can help you in several things like overcoming of context space. I will speak later on about context space, but right now GPT-4 in the highest version can have context space window 32K big, and this CodeLlama 2 have 100K context space window, so it's 3 times more, and it's for free. Yeah, it's a big difference. And one more thing which is different is also the payment model, which you will in the end need to decide. If you deploy something which is in the Hugging phase or open source, then you will pay for GPU power in the cloud solutions or cloud providers. And if you choose this commercial shelf or this GPT-4 model, then you will pay as you go for the token. So again, different story. Then you can leverage the OpenAPI API. This is well known. If you write this Python script in your IDEA, then you can reach your OpenAPI and you can connect through the Python to your API, to OpenAPI. What we see here is also that the OpenAPI is thinking that the usage of our data is very important, because we see that we have embeddings, we have I forget, this print screen is not the best one, but you can have plugins which can incorporate your data. So for example, you can attach your Excel or PowerPoint presentation or whatever, yeah, some documents, Acrobat documents, etc. So, and then you can communicate with this model based on the information which is in this document. So it shows us one trend, which I will also speak later. Then we have these cloud providers. We have 3 main cloud providers. We have Azure, Amazon, and Google. And if you see, all of them in these graphs are trying to work with your data. All of them try to attach your knowledge to their language models. Yeah, so there is few differences, yeah, of course. Yeah, so because in the Azure you have cognitive search, so you will use cognitive search. In Amazon you have Kendra. In Google you have Google Enterprise or this vector search by Vertex AI, etc. So different solution or different implementation of the solution, but same pattern. So we are coming to what is right now the really hype. The hype is retrieval augmented generation. This technique, it allows you use your data in your with large range models. This is big game changer because if you start using ChatGPT, then you can just use the data which is on the internet. I don't know, a few years ago, I don't remember the exact date, but it's like that. If you are using BART, then you are a different story. Then you can have actual data from the internet, but it will not have, for example, your HR data. So imagine that the use case for this is that I would like to know if I have option to change my phone, because I don't know every HR policy in our company. How you will find it? So you will try to call some colleagues and which is longer in the company and ask, or you can call to the HR, or you can go to some document library and you will try to search some documents which is describing this policy, and you are trying to find if you have this option or not to change your phone. But if you attach your data to the large language model, then it became different story. So you can ask directly some chatbot in your company, and chatbot will answer you based on the information from these documents. So this is really powerful technique. Both the free cloud providers have also solutions which is implementing it. I showed it in previous slide, but they have also GitLab and GitLab repositories for implementing of this solution. So it's easy to try. Okay, next slide. So I just throw to you a couple of information right now. Yeah, so I'm some pieces of the puzzles, and right now we are going to put these pieces of puzzles together. So we have prompting. So we are able to ask the large language models some question, and they will respond. There's really huge topic right now. We will see, or we can see that there is also courses about prompt engineering, etc. So to teach us how we can do the prompt better for better response. Then we have this retrieval augmented generation technique. So we can attach our documents. So if we ask correctly and we have our documents, then we have response in the context of our information with our data. Then we have fine-tuning. So it means that we can somehow edit, or we can edit our models to enhance our models to have better responses in particular cases. Then we have a specialized language model, which I speak in the Hugging Face example. Then you have models which is domain specific for medicine, for finance, for I don't know anything else, or task specific models for coding, for I don't know. Then we have the cloud providers. Cloud providers are offering us the the hosting platform. So it means that you can deploy your solution there and utilize. Then all these pieces are just tooling. So it means that it's just tool for us, not just for developers, which I mentioned in the beginning, but also for us as the companies, which we can use for building new products. And what is, in the end, it's product, eh? So this is the question: what will be the new Coca-Cola in the future? Maybe in the telco business it will be, I don't know. We need to find it. Okay? So what I am saying, we as developers, or we as a people who are able to create software, we have tools, but we need to have ideas from the business side. Okay, so I also prepare for you. I'm observing that. Okay, so I was very quick, but nevertheless. So one story of our proof of concept in our company, and this will be description how life of the product development and looks like, and which problems you will have and which you need to pass through. So first, okay, so some manager came, put to the ChatGPT that, okay, this is, I don't know, some code in legacy program, I don't know, in ABAP, or I don't know, what else. Yeah? So, and I would like to translate this code to the Java. Cool. And he passed just few lines of the code and ChatGPT translated. So it works, yeah, cool. I'm happy, I can continue, but there comes the token limits, which I speak in the beginning. So basically, the ChatGPT have, I forget its token limit, it's 4,000 or I don't know, somebody help me, it's 4,000? It could be 4,000. So I need to somehow overcome this token limit. How can I do it? Because not all code is less than 4,000 tokens. Token is like one word, so it means if something like that. So definitely there is classes, there is Java code which will be bigger than 4,000 tokens, than 4,000 words. How we can? So you mentioned the retrieval augmented generation. So because you are using the tokens, if you are sending it to the language model, and also and also if you are retrieving the information, also output and input. So I can handle this token limits in the input by retrieval augmented generation, that I have all context information in some storage, database, blob storage, I don't know what else. So I'm happy I solved it somehow. But okay, I still don't get responses for all my calls, because it's still 8,000 or 4,000. It's not token limit is not enough because I overcome input, but I don't overcome output part. And this is exactly where, for example, the specialized models came. That you can use, for example, this code Llama 2, and you will have 1,000 token limits. Bigger, still not enough. And there is also another question there. So question of the costs, question of the legal, from the legal perspective. Can I use it from the legal perspective? I don't know. Somebody will need to tell me how I will host it. So in some cloud providers it is GPU. So will my use case I will be so what is most efficient or cost efficient way how to achieve my goal? It will be tokens, counting the pay-as-you-go, or it will be paying for GPU on cloud providers. I don't know. So this must be the question which comes later on. So it's just example. I don't want to go deeper, but it's just how we are thinking, how we are trying to avoid or overcome some issues which is in the path during to building the product around it. By the way, we in the Deutsche Telekom right now, we are in the stage where we overcome all these things, and we are thinking about how we are implementing, so which cloud provider we will use, which models. we overcame these things, and we have right now decisions. We are working on the proof of concept or demos, and also the products which will, in some cases, also on products which will utilize this approach. What else? Okay, it's my favorite sentence that language models are not Harry Potter's wand. It's not like you are just pointing to something and it's Avada Kedavra. And it's not died because Avada Kedavra is spell for killing, eh? But, but I don't know, some transformation maybe spell. But it will not work like that. So you need to, in the first, you need to think if it's possible or not. And answer the first questions like this. If yes, then you can continue. If no, maybe find different ways. We speak about these token limits. It's very important. We will have a session. I will mention it later, so I will skip it right now. Reliability is a second thing. We all heard about hallucination. How avoid these things? Yeah? So still, it's not solved, and we are fighting with these problems. Then we have process limitation. That it's my special heartbreaking. It's over reliance. I cannot pronounce it right. I hope I did it. It's like if you use large language models for common task, then your people became reliant or stick on this solution, and means that it could happen that they don't understand what's happening in the background. Okay? So it's same like in any different fields. If you use some black box, then you don't understand the problem. Okay? And also the cost is the last thing. Okay? We don't know how many it will cost us if we will if we'll just go with pay as you go option. Okay, so what is answer for this? So from my point of view, in the big companies, this thing is new for everybody. We are not going to pretend that we are experts in these fields. Yeah? So there are few of them, but definitely they are experts in some particular cases, in some particular techniques, or in some particular technologies. But not all of them have expertise in every aspect of this process. So from my point of view, it's very important from these big companies to create communities of the practice, where you will be able to share information. This is maybe one of the reasons why we have this event, because it's very important to share information not just across the company, but across all business. And I see really potential in these communities. For example, in our company, it's AI for coding or AI at ops. So it means we are creating the community of people who have maybe not the biggest or deepest knowledge about concrete things, but have really good overview. From my experience, it's just few people in our company who try all three cloud providers. It's just few people who try different language models. It's not a lot of them. So we are not going to pretend that we are expert in everything. By the way, Olivia mentioned that there will be workshop. I should hold this workshop about how to implement your solution in Azure, but one of my colleagues didn't manage came, so we need to change it in the very short notice. And we decided to cast Cafe with Developer. It's like one of our shows which we are publishing in the YouTube. Maybe you know it, maybe not. And our guest, or my guest, will be Tomáš Kostur, who is really expert in this field. So I really recommend to go to this casting of Cafe of Developers, and we will speak exactly about these problems which I just right now mentioned, but much more deeper, and also from data scientist or machine learning expert view. He will explain, I hope, he will explain everything which I will ask him. And one more thing, you will be also, because the casting of this show will be on the, or result of the casting of this show will be on the YouTube, so you can see yourself in the YouTube video. Cool, eh? I heard it. Maybe for somebody is demotivated, but you can also hide somewhere and just watch and listen. Okay, so golden era start. We are on the peak of AI right now. We always speak that AI is like have peaks and downsides, and we are in one of the peaks of new AI era. We should use it. Maybe found another Coca-Cola. And from my side, from the guys who are representing the technical point of view, we are ready to do it. But we need the help. Help not just from the community about technical problems, but also where we should focus to earn more money than Amazon or Azure or Microsoft or Google on the products which we will be sell. Okay? Thank you. I was 5 minutes quicker.
Thank you. Thank you, Michal. Can you maybe tell us more about the Coffee with Developer? How many episodes are there already on YouTube? Many, right?
I don't remember.
How long have you been doing it?
We are doing it more than 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
We have one successful, let's say, cast or sessions have more than 20 or 40,000 views.
Mm-hmm. And do you still have like topics in pool? What you're going to talk about in the next episodes?
Yes, of course. One of the topic holders sit here. Yeah? So Peter, I hope that we will manage somehow and we will cast. But I think that we have a bunch of colleagues, and this is actually the aim of this program, that we are showing really smart guys who are dealing with really tough technical topics, but they are able to handle it.
And by the way, slide you is still on, okay? So if you want to ask now, ask a question, now it's time. And it's always with, the Coffee with the Developer is always with someone internal, with your colleague, right? So yeah, there are almost 4,000 people in Deutsche Telekom. So like the possibilities are endless. You've been, how long have you been working for Deutsche Telekom? It's like 15 years, even more?
It's another question which I don't know answer. It's really long. Huh? It's really long.
Yeah. What do you like the most about being developer?
Yes, so as every developer, every day you learn new things, can try new things, and this is what is driving me. So, and also my other part is like I can help other people to grow in software engineering, but it's same from my point of view also to the doctors. Doctors are also happy if they are successful with the learning of their successors. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You've been talking about the ChatGPT, as I think almost each of the presenters here. Are you using it yourself? Like when you need anything, are you using ChatGPT?
Yes, and I have several feedbacks that okay, this article was written by ChatGPT, so it's not good.
Oh, really?
Especially my English, as you observe, is not the best one. Yeah, but I'm using it mostly for enhancing my English skill. So, and this is one of the things which I believe is the best thing on using these language models, that it's equalize our skills in from this point of view, which is like say common skills. Like if you would like to sum up some topic, so you need to read and do the notes. Not everybody is great on this, but also the to write the article is the same approach. Yeah? So. I don't know, a few years ago, if I would like to write an article, I write in my English, then I put it to some feedback sessions, and it took me, I don't know, 2-3 weeks. But currently, I pass this to the ChatGPT. ChatGPT just polish my article, create it without mistakes, with nice English, you know. So.
But this is a good point, I think, because I think this is a great benefit for people when you are not like a, for example, copywriter, right? But you need something and you don't have a person who would maybe help you immediately. You've got ChatGPT, and this is also what it's good for. I have to admit, yes, that I put some questions about AI conference to ChatGPT before this conference. So also I was inspired by it, and I think that's totally okay, right?
Yeah. Just I have another example. One of my colleagues tried to learn coding. It's its name is Vlado Turzak, and he tried, and his feedback was, he always responds, okay, good question, you are right, I missed this one, and it's like, if you have a session with some developer, it means, okay, you're so stupid, you don't understand it, so, but ChatGPT always responds, yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah, so that's a motivational one.
They have let's say, more time for you, yeah.
Good. We've got some question in Slido. How to cope with outdated data and misleading information in the data of the models? Any idea how to correct or control?
What do you mean? I don't know. It's like, if we are speaking about our data, it's very easy. Yes, so you need to update this data. And if we are speaking about the public solution like ChatGPT, that we have answers, for example, from the market right now that, for example, Google Bard is able to also work with current data on the internet. And also ChatGPT comes with the plugins that you can put the URL of you would like to have, I don't know, if you would like to have actual information, that you can put the URL, and then ChatGPT can elaborate on the current information. But from this retrieval augmented generation point of view, that it's very easy answer. You need to update your data, yeah? Like always.
Mm-hmm. As you mentioned that you can't set up your own AI solution on Azure today, will you present it at some other occasion, maybe as a recorded session?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I need time for it. So definitely in near future you will see some videos about this in my blog or also in the YouTube. So.
Mm-hmm. If people want to go to the cast of the coffee upstairs, do they have to register, or they just come in?
No, it's just limited space. If I just took to the audience, we are just half of the here, yeah, so I don't expect that it will be full room, but only one is capacity is chairs in the room, yeah.
And is there going to be a chance to ask Tomáš some questions after the cast, Tomáš Koctur?
Yes, of course. So he will be here. So.
Yeah. Okay, and one more question from my side is that you've been an ambassador for a while. What do you do as an ambassador for Deutsche Telekom?
Yeah, I'm here.
A part of the coffee. Yeah, okay. You are invited as a speaker at conferences, and then you have this coffee with a developer. What else? Are there any sessions because there are more ambassadors within Deutsche Telekom?
Yeah, so we in the Deutsche Telekom doing many things for the community, I believe. So we are organizing the hackathons. We were the topics owners in Košice hackathon in few years, organized by the students. I don't know. It's Košice. It's Košice. Yeah, exactly. So many things for the community, and not just for people in the Deutsche Telekom, but I believe also for the people from the outside of our company.
Great, so you are a great inspiration and motivation for maybe those who would like to come to Deutsche Telekom.
I will be shy.
Thank you very much. That was Michal Kováčik.
Bye.